There's a kind of man you don't see very often, not because he hides, but because he doesn't need to be seen. He's not chasing the crowd. He's not filling the silence with noise. He's not endlessly scrolling, drinking, or working just to avoid being alone. He is alone because he chooses to be. And that choice, that calm, deliberate choice, makes him dangerous. Not dangerous because he wishes harm, but because he cannot be controlled. Carl Jung understood this man. He wrote about him without naming him, describing the qualities of someone who has gone so deep into their own mind that the world has lost its hold on them. Jung saw solitude not as isolation, but as fertile ground for individuation, the process of becoming wholly and authentically yourself. Most people never take that journey. Why? Because solitude is a mirror. It strips away distractions, social masks, and the comforting illusions we use to avoid seeing ourselves. When a man loves solitude, it's because he's made peace with that mirror. He's seen what's in it, the flaws, the desires, the fears, the shadow, and instead of running, he's stayed. That act alone separates him from most of the world, and that separation grants him a quiet, almost invisible strength. Jung's shadow isn't some mystical demon. It's everything you repress. Your anger, your jealousy, your lust, your grief, your potential. Most run from it. They bury it beneath constant activity, endless socializing, and the desperate need for approval. But the man who loves solitude, he doesn't bury it. He digs it up. He sits with it. He learns its contours, and in doing so, he gains what Jung called psychological integration, the merging of light and dark into one balanced self. This is where the danger begins. A man who has confronted his shadow cannot be easily shamed or manipulated. He's not triggered into rash decisions because he's already walked through his inner battlefield. He's already fought the wars inside. We live in a world designed to keep you plugged in, reactive, and dependent. Advertising tells you what to want. Social media tells you what to believe. Peers tell you who to be. The man who can sit in silence for hours, without needing validation, has slipped through the fingers of that machine. He makes decisions from inner alignment, not from the herd's approval. He doesn't chase trends, likes, or applause. And because of this, his moves are unpredictable, not to himself, but to anyone trying to control him. Jung knew that independence of thought is one of the rarest human qualities, and it is forged in solitude. Jung believed that the highest form of power is self-mastery. Most people think they're in control of their lives, but they're only in control of their image. The man who loves to be alone develops emotional discipline. He's not swayed by every mood. Mental clarity is another thing he masters. No constant noise clouding his thoughts. And lastly, he cultivates inner resourcefulness. He knows how to comfort himself, challenge himself, and guide himself. These aren't just survival skills. They're tools for leadership, creativity, and resilience. And they make him immune to the fear of being alone, which is one of the greatest fears driving human behavior. Jung worked extensively with archetypes, universal symbols embedded in the human psyche. One of them is the hermit, the figure who withdraws from the world to gain wisdom. In myths, the hermit is not weak or cowardly. He steps away from the noise so he can return with knowledge, vision, and a clearer sense of the truth. When a man loves solitude, he's not missing out. He's preparing. He's gathering insight and sharpening perception, like the warrior in exile who returns to the battlefield with a strategy no one saw coming. Jung taught that solitude allows a deeper connection to both the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. the shared reservoir of human experience and wisdom. The man who lives comfortably in solitude begins to notice patterns, meaningful coincidences, moments where the external world seems to answer an internal question. Jung called this synchronicity, and when you are attuned to it, you begin to move through life with a sense of quiet guidance, a feeling that you're in alignment with something larger. This is why such men can seem almost prophetic. They're listening to a frequency most have never tuned into. There is a subtle danger in being truly self-sufficient. You cannot be coerced with loneliness. You cannot be baited with approval. You cannot be bought with shallow comfort. Systems, whether political, social, or cultural, rely on people's dependence. The solitary man breaks that chain, and that's why he is often misunderstood, or even feared. He's not dangerous because he wants to destroy the world. He's dangerous because he doesn't need it to survive. For Jung, solitude was never about running away from life. It was about returning to the source, to the inner self, to the truth beneath conditioning, to the stillness that reveals what really matters. The man who loves solitude has likely suffered deeply, but instead of numbing the pain with endless distraction, he sat in it until it taught him what it came to teach. That's not loneliness, that's mastery. So here's the question Jung would leave you with. Could you be alone with yourself long enough to know who you truly are? Not for an hour, not for a weekend, but long enough for the noise to fade, and for the parts of yourself you've avoided to finally come forward. Because once you've met that version of you, the raw, unmasked, whole self, you'll understand why the man who loves solitude is so dangerous. He has nothing to hide from, nothing to prove, nothing to lose but what is false, and that makes him free. Jung knew that the journey inward is the hardest path you can walk. It will strip you bare. It will confront you with the truths you've been running from. But if you stay, if you keep walking through the dark, you will emerge unshakable. And maybe then, you will no longer fear the man who walks alone, because you will have become him. If this message resonated with you, and you're ready to finally live these universal laws, not just learn them, then click the link below and join us now in the Aligned and Activated program, where we help you create and live out your desired reality, with lifetime access to our exclusive Laws of the Universe community too. See you in the next video.